Hey everyone, André here, live on location outside Jeff Keighley's house, as you can see right now, because I am so freaking hyped for the Game Awards coming up on December 9th that I just had to get ready and try and get the full scoop out here on Jeff Keighley's porch. So, of course, I'm joined by Tris, Joey, and Tom to talk about the Game Awards in general, including our overall thoughts on it, some of the categories, as well as, of course, most importantly, our predictions. So, I think this will be fun. Guys, how are you all feeling about this?
Pretty good. I'm excited. This is like a yearly tradition, and I love this tradition. Like, even if the shows like wind up not that great, I'm just like, you know what? At least have a fun time, and I can look forward to next year's show.
Yeah, yeah. I completely agree with Joey there, and it's also nice too because this one's back in a real location too. This isn't like last year's.
Mm-hmm. Right, yes. People actually got invites to it this year, so it's going to be a bit more exciting, I think, than last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we'll miss out on No Man's Sky just drinking a Corona and not thinking he's going to win. Then like, and winning.
That was great.
Whatever show we do. So, yeah, people are obviously already getting hyped for the Game Awards, and people are already looking into every possible tease about this. Of course, Jeff, a few days ago, commented that he is excited himself because he's been working with the developer for 2.5 years on getting a particular reveal here, or world premiere here at the Game Awards. So, I'm sure we'll be discussing what that could be. And then, of course, Reggie tweeted out yesterday, a few days ago, that he will be at the Game Awards as well, by retweeting the announcement and then commenting, legendary, which, of course, everyone is now reading to that being a Zelda announcement, which he doesn't work at Nintendo anymore, so
it's clearly
it can be for anything.
It's clearly a How I Met Your Mother reference. Legend, wait for it, dairy.
Dairy, yep. He really should have added the ellipses there.
Exactly.
To sell the effect. Alright, so we're going to get into our predictions soon enough, but for now, I want to talk about some of the categories, not all the categories, in fact, not even most of them, but that will take forever.
There's too many.
But I do want, there are way too many, exactly. And Nintendo themselves weren't nominated for a whole ton this year, but they did place in some key categories. And I want to start off with what is essentially the Nintendo category itself, Best Family Game, in which we have Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, WarioWare Get It Together, and It Takes Two, being the sole non-Nintendo game here. So, what do we think? Do we think Nintendo has a chance of winning this with 4 out of 5 of the nominees? Or do you think It Takes Two might take it all, so to speak?
I haven't played It Takes Two, but from what I heard about it, the content in it isn't exactly family-friendly. Like,
yeah.
It's not super adult either, but it's like, it's still like petering on the edge of like, oh, it isn't exactly for kids. So, yeah, I feel like Nintendo is going to take this category with one of those games. I'm not sure which. I always forget the winners of the Best Family Games. I don't remember if they're always, like, multiplayer games. Because when I hear Family Game, I think, oh, games that everyone can play, like, in the same room for up to 4 players.
Yeah,
right.
And kind of working off what you were saying, too, I haven't heard many people think It Takes Two would get this. If anything, I've heard more people confused why it's in this category. That's the main thing I've been hearing from people. But I just want to note, of all the Nintendo things here, poor Mario Golf Super Rush, just totally not here, despite all the other Nintendo ones in here. But I do agree with you.
It's up against some stiff competition, including 2 other Mario games, Tris.
It is. But I do agree with you, Joey, about like typically what I think of with Family Game. I also tend to think like family, co-op, or multiplayer. So, like, New Pokemon Snap being on here, for example, while I could definitely see that winning because it's Pokemon, it also feels like an odd pick to me because I typically think multiplayer or co-op, which everything else on here has, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I agree. That is an odd one. I will say, though, I've been hearing a lot of buzz about It Takes Two, and so I'm wondering if, like, I am curious how much people even pay attention, or really how much value people put on the category when voting, versus just voting for the game they like best of the selection. And I have a feeling It Takes Two could possibly do it. Especially if all the Nintendo nominees are splitting the votes. Oh, I don't think WarioWare is going to get too many. Mario 3D World might, but it's kind of old news, even though Bowser's Fury was amazing. New Pokemon Snap, as you said, is a weird inclusion, and I felt like the hype died for that pretty quick. It came out, made a bit of noise, and then just disappeared. Yep. Mario Party Superstars, I think, has the strongest chance of taking versus It Takes Two. I do think with it being a long-running franchise, that might work against it, but it is also the best game we've had in the series in 10 years. So I think it'll come down to those two, and of them, Mario Party Superstars I think could take it, but I think It Takes Two has a pretty good shot to, even if it may not be the best fit for a family game category.
Right. In the end, it all depends on what the jury decides, because I think the fan votes only count for like 10% of the vote, from what I've heard.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Exactly. Alright, so that's the best Nintendo game / best family game category. Let's move on to what is arguably the most hyped, or one of the most important categories, being the Game of the Year. And this year, of course, as always, is some stiff competition in the forms of Deathloop, It Takes Two again, yet another reason why it might take Best Family Game, because Mario Party is not here in the Game of the Year category. So, anyways, just an interesting point. Then we have Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village, plus Metroid Dread from Nintendo, of course. So Nintendo did make it onto the Game of the Year category this year. You know, you can take it or leave it, it seems, depending on the year. But this year they made it. So what do we think could possibly win Game of the Year this year?
I think Metroid Dread could take it. I really think it can. The thing is, I haven't played, like, other games on this list, like Psychonauts 2, which I hear was really good. So if that wins, I won't be, like, surprised, because I haven't played it, but I hear it's really good. But I think Resident Evil Village was sort of when it came to, like, a Resident Evil game. Like, it was fine, but it was also, like, not nearly as good as 7. Deathloop, if that wins, I'm going to be furious, because I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was Game of the Year material. I could go on about how, like, those other games shouldn't win, but I just really want Metroid Dread to win, and I'm going to be very sad if it doesn't. Like, I'm so conflicted, because I don't want to be excited for this game potentially winning Game of the Year, because I don't want to be disappointed if it doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like, I really want it to win, like, so bad.
So I can actually see it being between Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, and Resident Evil Village. Those are the three that I've been hearing the most buzz about since the nominees were announced. Those are the three that I see most people being torn on. Like, in my own personal friend group, for example, one of my friends was really torn between Metroid Dread and Psychonauts 2, because he played them both around the same time and, like, really loved both of them. And I've kind of been seeing a lot of similar things online, where I haven't heard anybody really talking about wanting to vote Deathloop or It Takes Two. And I've heard people say Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was, like, a good game, but it wasn't Game of the Year material.
Oh, no, it was not. So, I played that, too. It was, like, it was one and done, like, and then I didn't think about it for the rest of the year.
the main thing I've heard from people against Resident Evil Village is, since they, back in, like, May, announced it would be getting added content for, like, extra things that other Resident Evil games normally have, people were saying if it had that by this point, it probably could take it. But since it doesn't, and it's a little bit of a lackluster experience for a lot of people, it probably won't. So I'm kind of with you on it. It probably end up being between Metroid Dread or Psychonauts 2. But as André was saying, I can see It Takes Two getting, like, a surprise. Suddenly it takes it, despite a bunch of people not expecting it.
It takes it, because it's just unique, right? It's something new. It's going to be interesting, though, if you do put up Psychonauts 2 versus Metroid Dread. It's going to be a battle of can a 2D game win Game of the Year. So that'll be neat to see what people think, and if that bar on just graphics quality is there in the minds of people from the industry.
It's just a darn shame you need a second player to play It Takes Two.
Yep.
I know, but you got a wife there, Joey, so you're set.
Yep. Yes, I do.
And you've got a kid on the way, so you're even set for the
It Takes Three!
It Takes Three, exactly. Speaking of which, if It Takes Two takes both Game of the Year and Best Family Game, they need to call it Two It Takes.
Yep.
That's a headline right there.
That's it. That's the headline. So yeah, this is a pretty eclectic mix this year, I feel like. And I think if it were almost any other year, I don't think Metroid Dread would win it. I think it just doesn't feel like the typical kind of game that.
If it was any other year, it wouldn't have been nominated.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's actually seriously. A great point. Exactly. But this year isn't any other year, it seems, and I think it actually does have a chance. It got a lot of acclaim when it came out. It kind of did Metroid what Mario Party did, Mario Party Superstars did for Mario Party. It reminded people why the game and series is great in the first place, and it really is distinct among them. Granted, most of these are in their own way distinct as well. But I do think Metroid could possibly take it. But I think, too, It Takes Two, of course, is another contender. But I feel like I've heard more... I feel like Deathloop might have a chance as well. But I do remember that getting quite a bit of attention, and it seemed to for a while after it came out. Like, it had a good buzz going for it. And I still see things popping up for it around it every now and then. So I think that game could possibly be a contender as well, even if you didn't enjoy it yourself, Joey. I think a lot of people did seem to find some fun in it, or a lot of fun in it.
Andre, did you hear there's going to be a new Deathloop trailer at the show?
I'm gonna laugh.
Joey, I want to see Joey's I want to see Joey's reaction to that actually happen.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if they like announce a Deathloop expansion or something there, and we'll be like, no, they really did it.
I don't think Nintendo hasn't won a Game of the Year since Breath of the Wild, have they?
That's right.
Or was
Yep.
Yeah, so that'd be nice. It'd be 4 years. 4 years later, it'd be nice if that happened again. So we will see.
I do want to note, there's something really good about the Game of the Year nominees. They're all shorter games. When we look at like last year's, when it was like big RPGs, really long games, like 60-hour plus games. This year, they're all like on the shorter side. Like, you could like if you really wanted to sit through and play through all the nominees, you could theoretically play them. If you started the day the nominees came out and set your end date of like the Game Awards, you actually could play through all of them.
That's crazy. I love that.
Like that's actually a really nice change of pace compared to normal.
Yeah, that is actually kind of nice. That actually might maybe guarantee some of the judges or jury, as Joey put it, actually played most of these games. So
I don't know what they're called.
I think Deathloop might be one of the longest of them, actually.
I think so.
Yeah,
yeah, but that even then, that game took me like 15 hours to beat. It wasn't even that long.
All right, perfect, great. All right, let's go move on to one final category, being the most anticipated game, mostly because it serves as a great segue into our predictions, of which the nominees are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Starfield, and of course, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. Why are we still calling it this?
Because Nintendo hasn't given us a name yet!
Still no name! So, okay, everyone, of these, which are we most excited for? Or rather, I guess, let me rephrase. Which game do we think will win?
I will be shocked if it's not Elden Ring again.
It would be weird if it didn't win again, right? Like, why would the hype levels have changed?
Well, maybe the hype levels have changed because now that people have seen the game since the last time it won, they've sort of like got some of their thirst quenched. Yeah, so maybe. But I don't know. From Software fans are big and they are ravenous. Like big as in the fan base is huge. It's massive. But yeah, it might just take it because people just voted for it. You know, you could also argue Breath of the Wild 2 could win because now that we've seen more of it, now people are more excited. So yeah, who knows? Or it's God of War Ragnarok because people really love God of War.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, I want Breath of the Wild 2 to win it. I mean, my whole background right now is Breath of the Wild. But I can see, yeah, Joe's wearing the Breath of the Wild shirt. But I can see Elden Ring taking it because of how hyped up that one is on such a larger scale. Not that Breath of the Wild isn't, but the amount of attention Elden Ring's been getting over the last few years, especially since we finally saw it, that's probably going to be the one to take it, honestly.
Yeah. It's more tangible at this point, and soon. I think those factors, and if it looks like it's delivering, that'll help sort of seal the deal.
Yep, indeed. And yeah, and for whatever reason, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel or 2, it still feels more less concrete, I guess. More there's a word I'm looking for, but
I think concrete's good. It's like I'm not super excited for this game yet, to be honest. And that's because there's so much we don't know about it. Normally that makes people more excited, right? But right now I'm kind of just like, I don't know what to be excited for.
Yeah, great point. Like we've seen more of it, but it didn't really answer any questions. It kind of just gave us some new ones.
It gave us a lot of new ones.
Right. Well, I guess on that note, let's go ahead and move into our predictions here. I want to start off with, I want to get back to the two comments I mentioned earlier, with Reggie tweeting legendary, which again probably doesn't mean anything in and of itself, but then again, Jeff teasing that he had worked with a developer, or that there's an announcement from a developer that they've been working with for 2.5 years. Which does line up with when Breath of the Wild, the sequel, was announced at E3. That was almost exactly 2.5 years ago. So, do we think it could happen? Is anyone predicting we'll see this game here? Maybe we'll finally get an actual title? What do we think? What's the verdict?
Well, I think, here's the thing, right? Looking at the list of most anticipated games, Breath of the Wild sequel is the only one that doesn't have a proper title. So if it's a world premiere, that would be quite the way to reveal the title of the game. Yep. Even though I think back at E3 they told us the title of the game is a spoiler for the game, which I don't even know what that's supposed to mean unless you're going to hide the title from the box art and everything. I think that would be a good time to do it, honestly. And since Reggie's a big Zelda fan, it would be exciting to have him maybe give the award for most anticipated game, and then also introduce a trailer for the game, even if Zelda doesn't win it. But I still kind of feel like that's like a bit of a pipe dream. It's a little far off to really fully expect that. I think it would be fantastic to happen, but I don't think Reggie has any ties to that at all. If it happens, it happens, but I don't think it has any relation to Reggie. That might be a coincidence.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's like, I think we've had our expectations too high for Nintendo to be at this show, like, for the past few years. Like, last year they did show off Sephiroth, which was awesome. Year before that, I don't even remember if they even, like, announced anything major. But, yeah, it was... I think that was Bravely Default 2 was the year before that. But even still, I don't think... I just think we Nintendo fans have been, like, hyped and hyped and hyped and burned and burned and burned time after time again when it comes to the Game Awards, that I'm fully expecting no Zelda this year. And, like, the whole thing about Jeff tweeting, that could be literally any game. Like, let's be honest. It could be literally anything. I remember when the producer of the Castlevania show on Netflix said, like, oh, I got another video game adaptation in the works. I'll find out what it is. Zelda. Everyone thought it was Zelda for some freaking reason. And then it was Devil May Cry. And I'm like, y'all, he didn't even hint that it was Zelda. Like,
nope.
Yeah, exactly. To put into perspective a little bit there, Joey, the biggest things Nintendo's had at the Game Awards was when we saw more Breath of the Wild in 2016's show.
Yes.
The Bayonetta trilogy being announced, I guess, for Switch in 2017, and then the Smash Ultimate Presents 2018 had of the concerts playing the main theme, and then Joker's reveal as DLC. That was all the big deals, but that's basically all Nintendo's had. I forget what year it was, but I know there was a year where Jeff Keighley kept hyping up there's something that Nintendo fans are going to love and want to stick around for, and it was at the very end of the show. It was a musical performance that had Bowser's theme in it or something like that. It was not at all what he hyped it up to be for more than half the show. Yeah. So, yeah, Nintendo fans kind of do get burnt, but I think we're past the point of why we should be having our expectations this high. Like, it's been some years since it. Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, sorry. I'm just curious if it was a Nintendo title. That would be something like, is it Jeff Keighley going to Nintendo of Japan and seeing this, or is he just visiting Nintendo of America? That would be some pretty good connections either way, if you got to see it that far in advance. So that is something interesting. I think it's probably going to be more like a brand new IP, hopefully something new and unique. But we'll see, right? It could just be hyping up the show. And possibly for Nintendo, I'm leaning towards something slightly less exciting than Sephiroth this year, I think. That's what I think personally. So that way I'm pleasantly excited if it is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interesting thing is this year is we know there won't be any Smash Brothers there. Smash Brothers is done. It's over with. And so this is one of the only times, one of the only years we've had in quite some time, or the only year in quite some time, where we're not going to be predicting anything Smash, which is a little odd, because it has been some of the most hype announcements so far, has been Smash Brothers related. But I would say, of course, the Breath of the Wild showcase, or Zelda Wii U showcase some years ago was definitely perhaps even better than that. So, yeah, I'm not expecting to see the Breath of the Wild sequel here. I would love for it to happen. I think there is a chance it could happen, especially with a title reveal.
Yeah.
But it still feels like the time isn't quite right for it. I'm not even convinced it's coming out this next year. So
they said they're shooting for 2022, and I'm like, oh, you're aiming for it?
You're aiming for it, yep. Exactly. So I think we'll definitely find out more this year at the least.
That's it. Breath of the Wild Link's crossbow training.
Oh my god, that would be so hype. I'm down.
He just uses his arm like Samus's gun.
Yes.
So real quick to circle back to the lack of Smash in general, Nintendo, I think the record is one year they had 3 separate announcements, which was awesome. But most years they only have, I think, 1 or maybe 2. Yep. So yeah, I think to your point, Joey, that's why people often get overhyped, you know, including us. They're like, oh, they're gonna announce all these things, and then like none of them happen, or it's just like one of them. So yeah, I would love for the Breath of the Wild sequel to be there, but I think I will say myself, if Nintendo is only showing one thing there, which who knows if they are or not, I would expect it to be something we haven't seen before. That's what I'm thinking. I think it would be a brand new reveal for something that we haven't actually seen anything of. So I guess on that note, let's get into our proper predictions here beyond talking Zelda related. Joey, I want to hear yours. What are you feeling we might see here at the Game Awards?
Man, if you think it's something that we haven't seen before...
Well, this is your prediction, not mine.
Well, I don't have any good predictions other than Metroid Prime 4, which I don't think is happening. Donkey Kong, baby. It's time.
I love Donkey Kong. I'd be so down for finding out what that rumored game actually is, especially if it's from the
it's happening.
Galaxy/Odyssey team.
Yeah, I know it's happening. We know it's happening, but yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I don't really have any high expectations for Nintendo, so I don't have any like huge predictions for the Game Awards either. I'm just going into this show like, give me something cool, Jeff, and I will be happy. Give me more Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious, Ark Survival Evolved, whatever.
All right. So I will say I don't know if we'll get another Donkey Kong reveal after what happened in was it 2013, 2014? What time?
Oh, Tropical Freeze.
Kong?
With Tropical Freeze, you know, they showed off Cranky as a playable character. Granted, a new game would be far more hype than just a character, but I think it does seem Nintendo tends to skew a little bit older with the announcements at Game Awards in general. That's not a universal rule, but they do tend to like target like older demographics, it seems, rather than like the more family-friendly type. Which is why I think if we do get an announcement from Nintendo, it probably wouldn't be Donkey Kong, but I would be happy to be wrong.
Man.
But Joey, I will pick up the slack here then. I will say I'm going all in. Metroid Prime 4, baby. I think we're gonna see it. It has now been almost 3 years since it was rebooted. Almost 3 years as of next month, and not even counting how long it's. Sorry?
That could tie in with what Jeff said, too, about the 2.5 years to set up a
Exactly,
reveal.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. And they're a Western developer, making it even easier to work with them. Of course, obviously, they'd be working with NCL and NOA as well. I mean, if not primarily, but I think that kind of eases the language barrier there, as Tom, you kind of brought up.
Primarily.
Oh, yes! I think there is. I think he just destroyed Joey. I think this could happen. I think this now might be the time. I mean, I know it will never seem like the right time, just because
it's never going to be the right time.
It seems like this is the game that may never come out. But I feel like now could be it. Possibly even more so than E3.
I mean, yeah, I was saying like, hey, Nintendo could take advantage of the new Metroid hype, the new Metroid being in the news cycle, and release a Prime 4 trailer. But also. Probably not. I don't know. It makes sense to not show Metroid Prime 4 because they don't want to take away focus from Dread yet. Like, it's... I don't know. So, it's a weird...
I think it would only expand the hype for Dread. It's like, wow, look how good that game looks. I better go catch up on all of them. Metroid Dread, which just won Game of the Year.
It could and it couldn't. It's weird. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking along the same lines, actually, for my main prediction here. I think Nintendo will write off the fact that Metroid Dread is nominated for Game of the Year, so there's a Metroid presence. They're going to want to capitalize on that.
Right.
But I don't actually think we'll get an extended look at Prime 4. I think we're going to see what's been rumored for like over a year now of the Prime 1 remake.
Yeah.
That's what's been rumored for a while, and I think we could get an extended look at like an actual trailer or gameplay and everything of the Prime 1 remake, and then a tease for when we'll learn more about 4. Or the Prime series in general.
Yeah, I mean, they've done something similar for Bayonetta, wasn't it? Is it? Yeah.
Yep.
I think it makes a ton of sense because I feel like they can't just show the Metroid Prime remake or remaster. I mean, it'd be great, it'd be awesome, but people are going to be upset again. It'll be Federation Force all over again, to a lesser degree, I imagine.
No,
not quite.
Yeah, nothing could be Federation Force all over again. But I feel like that would be the way to do it. That would be, especially if, like, it's what if they're like, everyone, that Metroid Prime remaster you just saw there, it's out right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
Not
God.
gonna happen.
They are not gonna pull a Sega with that. No.
That'd be amazing, but they won't. I agree.
That's a good point.
yeah.
The Prime remaster you think would be one that would be shadow dropped, but if they announce it for a bit later, I mean, Advance Wars was supposed to be out now. And if you have Prime remaster just sitting in a vault, I could fill in that gap. So, but
That's true.
Dread came out recently. On Joey's point, if it's like you're confusing me with Prime 4, you could do something like DLC where maybe there's some suit in Prime 4, you get to play in it in Metroid Dread. That would be a good way to kind of not have everyone forget about Metroid Dread suddenly for some reason, even though it's great. So,
Yeah.
Why is everyone predicting Metroid except me this year? Like, that just goes to show how burned I am by this frickin' game.
because you know, Joe, you've been through the pain. You've seen, we see the tears in your eyes.
Yes. I feel like I've predicted this game at the Game Awards for like 4 years in a row.
Maybe
it hasn't happened.
You know, maybe that's what it takes, Joey. Maybe it takes you not predicting it for it to finally happen.
Maybe. Like, my good old friend Gabe, who's a big Bayonetta fan, said there's no way Bayonetta 3 is going to be in this next Nintendo Direct. And then it was. So, who knows?
All right.
I'm going to put something interesting, though. With listening to the recent interviews with old Retro Studios employees or former ones, there were a lot of key people that aren't at Retro anymore. So it's kind of like rebuilding the company. I guess this happens in all the games industry, but it's just more pointed out now. So it's going to be made by a lot of new people that weren't there on the original trilogy.
That's true.
And yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And to be fair, too, I mean, well, I don't know, to be fair, to add more context, I suppose, I think there's been a lot of turnover between most of Retro's games. Like Metroid Prime 2 had a largely different staff, if I remember correctly. I could be mistaken. I know, like, the Donkey Kong games had quite a bit of staff turnover. Somehow, these games always turn out amazing, despite this. So maybe they're doing something right? I don't know. But in any case, yeah, we'll see what happens and what the end result is. There's a lot of pressure on Metroid Prime 4 to be good. So yeah, it's gonna be, they really have to kind of nail this reveal whenever it may be, which I hope is now, but who knows. All right, let's move on to any other predictions we may have. Are we hoping for anything else or expecting anything else possibly to be shown off at the Game Awards?
I think we could see Kirby. The Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I forget the exact title, but that Kirby game we just had the big reveal for, the 3D Kirby game. We had the reveal for in the last Nintendo Direct. I can see a new trailer for it coming.
Maybe right before the Best Family or right after Best Family category?
Yeah,
that would make sense. I was considering that, or maybe the new, a better look at Mario and Rabbids. It's been a while since that one.
Oh, that's true.
But that's also Ubisoft, so that's kind of like, will Nintendo be counting for the marketing for that or them? So that's fun.
I mean, that kind of, I think, almost increases the odds of it happening because Ubisoft, I believe Ubisoft is the one who handles all the marketing for it. So I think that strengthens the argument. We could see it here.
Yeah, either one of those, I'd love to see more of at the show. I'm going to point out one that I thought where, because it's delayed, if it's on track now to meet its release, Advance Wars maybe, because that's one people don't really want to see too much, so that'll go with my prediction of more of a lower expectations year. But for me personally, I'd love it. So you see, it's win-win on both accounts.
It's fair.
That's fair.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't think Advance Wars doesn't quite feel like Game Award material, but
it's not quite there. You'd have to have like the darker side of Advance Wars.
You know, that
Bravely
makes me
Default
wonder.
2 was announced at the Game Awards. I don't know. I feel
That's
like
true.
it's possible.
Sorry,
Yeah,
what was?
that's
Bravely Default 2, which isn't really Advanced Wars at all, but it's an RPG. So,
Yeah.
which Advanced Wars isn't, so I don't know why I said that.
Tom, your comment about the darker side of Advance Wars actually makes me wonder. There's been rumors for like over a year now of a new Fire Emblem game or a remake or something coming.
Oh, right.
And I actually wonder if that actually could be something to get revealed here in like a small thing, and then would get properly shown off more in like a later direct or something like that. But like an initial reveal, I can actually kind of see that happening here. Fire Emblem's gotten really big in the last few entries.
Yep.
You know, my gut reaction is that it doesn't seem like a good fit, but now the more I think about it, I mean, Fire Emblem has really expanded its mindshare in recent installments. So yeah, this actually could be a good time to show it off. Maybe we know it's in development, so we know there's a new Fire Emblem coming. We just don't know when.
Yeah,
it is kind of coming up on the time that you would expect to hear an announcement from it. This Three Houses was some time ago at this point. So.
It was 2019, I think.
Wow,
or 18. No, 19. Yep.
You know what we could also see is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, or what I would actually prefer, Xenoblade Chronicles X on Switch. Where is it?
That would actually, either one of those. I mean, obviously, Xenoblade 3 would be a much bigger announcement, but I think even just the port would do well. I think a lot of people would be excited to see that because a lot of people missed it with it being on Wii U. So
it's so good.
It's gonna happen. They're almost out of Wii U remakes. This has to be one of them, right? They have to.
Yeah, we need that in Yoshi's Woolly World, and I'll be good.
No, we need to also remake just the Wii U Plaza, wherever all the Mii's are just walking around. I love that.
Bring back Miiverse, baby. That's what I want. Bring back Miiverse. Give us a proper social media network with actual spoiler alerts.
I think we've...
Sorry, Joe. I was going to say, for Xenoblade, wasn't that the one where they had the website update on Monolith Soft or whatever around E3 or something like that? Like, one of them was hinting at it.
So.
Anyway.
Yeah, was that for X or 2? It's probably for X.
Yeah, I think the Monolith Soft website updated around the time. I forget if it was E3 or the last Nintendo Direct, but it updated like the day or two before that event, so it got a lot of people thinking we were about to see something for it.
I see. Yeah. Are we even doing Game Awards predictions anymore? I feel like we're just doing general Nintendo predictions now.
I think we're just talking about whatever we want now. To bring it back, I think it's unlikely, but I think there's a chance we get a smaller announcement from Nintendo in addition to like a big one. And I wonder if this could be like a good venue for showcasing Mario Party Superstars DLC. It's like, hey, it maybe just won the Best Family Game. Here's some new content for it coming up right now, you know?
That is
I would
true.
love that. I almost feel like it's too soon, strangely enough.
No, it's not too soon.
I don't think it is.
They actually,
but it feels like
they probably would wait until after the holidays. And
yeah.
It's already getting the holiday boost, so it would make sense if they use it to give it a boost after people have already bought it. So. But it could be a good reminder. It's like, hey, that game that came out 30 days ago.
I feel like that's something. I feel like that's something you save for a Nintendo Direct headline in February or March.
All right, there's a couple big things we haven't talked about here yet. Anyone? Is anyone gonna predict them, or do I have to?
You're gonna have to do it, man. I have
predictions.
my only other prediction. My only other prediction isn't even Nintendo related, so I can say that for later.
All I know is that 90% of these are not going to happen at the Game Awards, at least.
Joey's just raining on our parade, man.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm realistic.
I can
do I
my
need to knock on
Nintendo
Jeff Keighley's door right here, have him knock some sense into you, Joey?
Yes.
I'll do it.
Don't trip over Alf on the lawn on the way there.
All right, since no one else is going to do it, do we think we could see a tease of the Mario or Sonic movies here?
Oh.
Wow, guys.
You know what's
I don't know
weird?
why I didn't think of that.
You know what's
Joey,
weird?
you're the movie guy here.
You know what's weird? I don't think they've ever done that before, have they? Like, I don't think they've ever... Have they ever shown movie stuff at the Game Awards?
No, but they get a lot of movie people.
Yeah,
they movie stars.
Christopher Nolan and Simu Liu's going to be here too.
Okay, wait.
That's why I don't think we're. I don't think so. I don't. There's a first time for everything, but that's why I didn't predict any movie stuff because I don't think like there's ever been an instance at the Game Awards where they've ever tied in movie stuff to that.
There's never been an instance before where Nintendo was making a movie, though.
I mean, true, but it's the Sonic movie, if you're going to bring that up.
Yeah, this is in a post-successful Sonic movie world.
Yeah.
So they could actually have the main cast of the Sonic movie come on stage.
Idris Elba, come on stage.
Come on stage and give us a first look at Knuckles in the Sonic sequel.
I hope he wears gloves or something.
I hope he's holding the Knuckles head on a stick or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be amazing.
No, I can really see that now, actually. Specifically Sonic's. I don't think I can see the Mario one happening here, actually.
Mario,
Sonic
no
I can
chance.
see.
No chance for Mario. Sonic, maybe. Yeah.
Sonic's only like 3 months away, isn't it? Isn't that movie like end of March,
comes out
early April?
on my birthday. So.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's amazing considering the first one I went down to go see it on my birthday.
What do you know?
Premiere,
Perfect.
the press premiere. I think, I don't think there's a chance we'll get both things here. I think there's a chance we'll get one of the things here, with Sonic being more likely of the two. I do think, I mean, we don't fully know the relationship of Nintendo, of who, I assume Illumination or whoever publishes those movies is handling the marketing for the Mario movie.
Yeah.
But we did get Nintendo premiering the voice cast, so I think anything's possible, and as Triss is saying, the Game Awards is big about having, like, movie celebrities here. So out pure happenstance, you expect there's a good chance of just one of them appearing at the Game Awards, whether it's related to one of these movies or not. But why not tie it into that point? Why not have them talk about the movie a little bit? Maybe show, I don't know, something from it, whether a scene or a trailer, because we haven't seen anything from either movie yet, really, aside from unofficial leaks. So, as opposed to official leaks, which actually are a thing. So yes, I stand by what I said. But I'm hoping we get something from them, and I think Sonic movie will be a great opportunity. I think now that people really enjoy the Sonic movie, the audience here is primed, Metroid primed, to enjoy. I think to lose it over a Sonic reveal or something.
Yeah.
The trailer was apparently done too for Sonic 2, according to rumors. So.
Yeah.
Oh, those pesky rumors.
To build off what I was saying, that's a great point, Tom. To build off what I was saying, I think the Sonic movie is a safer bet than the Mario movie. The Mario movie is an unknown. So I think we don't know what people's reactions are gonna be to that. So I think the Mario or the Sonic movie is just a safer bet to show off in a live spot, in a live venue. So
yeah.
All I know is if at some point we see Jeff announce one of the Sonic cast members is going to be at the show. For one, that's just a big spoiler.
Guaranteed.
But two, that guaranteed. Then Sonic trailer is happening.
That would be so hype. I can't believe I'm hyped for a Sonic movie, but here I am.
It has to be Idris Elba, no one else.
Well, the voice of Sonic, probably. But.
No,
Yeah.
Tris. It has
Jim
to
Carrey?
be Idris.
Jim Carrey would also be. Jim Carrey would actually be huge to do that.
Yeah.
But he has to dance on stage like Eggman, though.
Yes.
And he has to bring his Agent Stone or whatever.
Yes,
his
Agent
Stone form of it, though.
It's got to give him the coffee with steamed goat milk or whatever it was.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to any other predictions we may or may not have. What do we got?
I mentioned it's not a Nintendo prediction, but in the last Sony presentation, we saw the next Spider-Man game by Insomniac. We had a tease for it with Venom, we only saw a tease for it. Yeah, I can see us getting a little something for that. Spider-Man's usually pretty big, so
I doubt it.
I can see that happening.
I know I'm just raining on everybody's parade here, but I feel like it's just too
it's a small
soon.
prediction, but
Yeah,
that's fair.
I feel like a lot of these and so many big games have already been announced and shown off. It's kind of just what more is there? That's why I'm more relying. That's why I'm more relying on what we don't know than what we do know already. For example, last year, Perfect Dark. I didn't see that coming. I don't know if any
that
of
was
you.
great.
Yeah, I know a Perfect Dark game has been rumored from that studio for a while, but I did not think it was going to be at the Game Awards at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do we think could we see more of it here? You think?
I think it's too soon, but I also think they could show more of a look by saying last year we announced Perfect Dark, so here's more behind the scenes or something.
I just hope it doesn't follow the Bayonetta 3 template, where it's another 2 years before we hear anything about it.
Oh, I think it is. I think when they showed off that trailer, they just started pre-development or whatever. Is there is it like movies? Pre-production, production, and post-production? Probably not.
I'm sure they have a pre-production phase.
A little bit for games. Yeah, there's usually pre-production for games.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's all documentation, planning, everything written on whiteboards, things like that.
I think they were in the middle of that.
All right, next prediction. If there's anything left.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh my god! There's been literally no rumblings of this at all. So if they came out with a Banjo trailer, I don't think they could contain the hype in that room. At least not for me.
That would
I'm not even gonna be there.
That would easily be the biggest announcement at the show. Easily.
Wouldn't even matter.
Even
Yeah.
if Zelda was there. No, Banjo's bigger.
Yeah. That would be huge. Especially if it's a proper Banjo-Kazooie 3. Oh my god, that would be amazing. I don't expect it.
I have a question
Me
for
either.
you. With Rare working on Everwild and Sea of Thieves, would it be a different company working on it?
I think so.
Oh.
I really think so. Like 100%. It's going to be
Yeah,
played.
Rare can't make Rare games anymore.
No,
So,
they can only
for
make
whatever reason.
Yeah, they can only make pirates and jungle games now.
Oh man, I would love. Yeah, it'd be fun if we got some kind of like big announcement from Microsoft in general, but I don't even know what it would be, so I have no idea what to expect.
Restocks of the Series X.
Yeah, that'd be pretty big.
Series
news,
X
actually.
fridge.
Yes.
Everyone, look under your chairs. You all get Series X's.
Oh man,
God.
they're small enough to fit under the chairs too.
Yeah,
So
they
yeah,
are.
but
And
also
they did something similar a few years ago, or quite a few years ago now, for the one, was it? Tom?
360 remodel.
oh,
That
the
was it.
360
Yep.
Slim.
Yeah, the slim one.
That's right. Man, oh man, I wish
right.
I was working in games media then, but I was still in high school. But man, oh man, we're talking about movie predictions. There's another thing coming out. It's not a movie, it's a show. The Last of Us.
Yes,
I can see that.
We got a picture of it already. Maybe it's time to
Yes.
see the other frame surrounding the picture.
Exactly.
Considering Last of Us 2, Part 2 won Game of the Year last year, I can see
Yes.
that happening, actually.
Yeah.
I can definitely
Or-
see that happening.
Or we could see that rumored Last of Us remake, which is the most unnecessary thing I've ever heard in my life.
The original game still looks good, so
Still
it is
looks
very
good.
odd.
It still plays
I think-
good.
It wasn't. That's still a pretty. Actually, I don't even know. I was under the impression it's still earlier in development, but maybe I'm off base on that. So
They might still be. I'm not sure. I just feel like, why are you remaking The Last of Us if that rumor's true?
I'll be honest. I'd still be hyped to see it though. Like, I mean, yeah, it's unnecessary, but I still wouldn't mind seeing it a better version of the original game, which is great. So
Didn't they already do a remastered version?
They
They did. That's
already a better
insane.
version of the game.
I know. It's strange. It's very strange. All right. Any other predictions, everyone?
I'm all predictioned out,
Nope.
man.
Think
We're about
I'm out.
tapped out?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good, because we got to end this discussion at some point. Before we do, though, what's your overall hype levels at now? Like, how are you feeling overall about the Game Awards this year? Just in general, or for announcements, whatever you want to do. Joey, let's start off with you. How are you feeling?
I think I'm at a 7, but it's like a positive 7 because like I said, I always look forward to
As opposed to a
the.
-7?
Yeah, like a 7 plus. There we go.
Negative hype.
7.8. Because I still look forward to the Game Awards every year. Like, it's just a tradition that I love coming every holidays. So, yeah, I'm just excited to see like what is going to be shown off there, rather than like thinking, oh, Zelda's going to be there, oh, Metroid's going to be there. No, at this point, I'm just like, just show me something cool.
Yep. I'm feeling positive about it. I'm gonna go marginally higher at 7.5, and we didn't really have anything Kojima last year at the awards, but that's always a wild card factor. They recently announced they're doing stuff in LA for like shows and stuff. I think that's too soon, but who knows with Kojima, like what he could possibly bring being great friends with Jeff Keighley.
Yep.
That could be the 2.5 year announcement, too,
Yep.
possibly.
That's
a
true.
possibility. It could be Kojima's next game.
That's true.
Even if it's just a title drop, that's also very Kojima. Like, we could just get a title drop for something from him.
Kojima's
Nothing else about
untitled
it.
Snake game.
Sure.
Triss, how are you feeling overall?
I'm also in like the 7 halfway to 8 range. Like, it's a positive feeling because, like Joey said, it's tradition. It's just something fun to look forward to every year. But I never really expect big announcements out of it. Most of my predictions are for the sake of discussion point because I think they'd be fun to talk about. But yeah, it's something fun every year, and it'll be interesting to look at this without the Smash expectations for once.
If you were just bringing up games to discuss, Triss, how did you not float the possibility of Mario Kart 9?
Because that's definitely something Nintendo would absolutely save for their own direct to hype up in their own way and not steal the show with.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, they want to overshadow Jeff Keighley.
I
Exactly.
was thinking about that. Like, they've run out of characters to announce for Smash. Do you just start adding DLC to Mario Kart again?
Oh man.
Again, it's so weird that there's nothing that we definitively know there's not going to be anything Smash related here, which is a strange thing to be saying. So it really makes me wonder, like, it kind of leaves a vacuum now for, like, a Nintendo property to hopefully fill. Like, hopefully there's something big there from Nintendo. We don't know. There may not be. They've had smaller years before. So I'm hoping this isn't one of them. We know they've got big things to show off. We even float the possibility of a new Mario game, maybe. Of course, you know, the rumor is that the Mario team's working on Donkey Kong, so that might be why. But, you know, they always have like a billion Mario games in the works, so who knows?
That's the thing. Nintendo's kind of greedy in that regard. They want the big announcements for themselves at their own shows. Unless it's something that's already been announced, like a Zelda, which has already been announced, then yeah.
Perhaps, yeah, true. I mean, but I think Nintendo is also changing with the times to a degree. It feels like, you know, they've talked constantly about embracing new forms of media, and I think, you know, advertising at shows like the Game Awards is a way to do it. Like, this is a way of reaching a more diverse demographic than they do any other time of the year, aside from possibly E3. But I think probably even including E3. Like, everyone's watching this. You know, if you're a gamer of most kinds, like a hardcore gamer of any kind, you're probably watching the Game Awards.
Game Awards get more views than the Oscars this year, just saying.
Exactly. It keeps growing exponentially somehow.
Yeah. Stupid question prediction that I only just realized as we were talking about this. Do you guys think we'll see Splatoon 3 here at all? Because I don't, personally, but it's worth raising the question.
Possible, but I don't think so either.
I was leaning more towards Mario & Rabbids stuff. We recently kind of saw some new stuff for Splatoon 3, so I think that's going to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely. I think Splatoon, despite being a shooter, falls into like the more family-friendly category, and that just doesn't seem... It is odd to say for a Nintendo family-friendly company, but that's not the kind of games you generally see from them at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
But if there were to be exceptions, Splatoon 3 would be a good one, and it's entirely possible, because we know that's coming next year, right? And so they're going to have to start showing it off at some point, especially if it ends up being a pre-summer title, either before E3. So, you know, Triss, maybe you're onto something there, so I wouldn't mind another look at it. But I feel like we've also seen enough of it at this point that it wouldn't be as hype as people might be expecting from the Game Awards, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
That might be the big issue with it. Alright, well, I think we're about done here. I didn't get my rating. I'll go 7.9, both to one up a few of you there.
Oh my God,
also because
you're so predictable.
Well, don't we want predictable, don't we, for a predictions discussion, so... Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for us here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We will, of course, be streaming the Game Awards. We are official co-streamers of the awards, so make sure to stay tuned to GameXplain. Yeah, we'll be there covering it all. Should be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it. I know we all can't wait for it. That again is on December 9th, so only a few days away at this point. So yeah, let's hope we're not disappointed. But at the least, I'm curious to see who takes Game of the Year. Metroid Dread could it be it? Maybe.
Vote Metroid Dread, guys. Please. I don't care if you like Psychonauts 2 more. Vote Metroid Dread.
Just go spam the chat at the Game Awards with Metroid Dread the entire time. There you go. Just please fill up with Dread.
Yes.
All right. That's it for us here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay tuned again for our stream of the Game Awards, and we will catch you for that very soon. See you later. Bye, everyone.